Today, I'm going to teach you a very simple method that I've fallen across that has completely changed the way I look at my calendar and completely changed the way I look at productivity. Let's find out what it is. G'day, Simon from SPP Productivity, where we believe everybody has a deep down desire to be more productive. On this channel, we give you simple tips and tricks that anybody can implement to help themselves become more organized and productive at home, work, and school. From time to time, we also demonstrate and have a bit of a review of productivity tools and software. So if you like this channel, please make sure that you subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you know when we release a new video. Now guys, as I mentioned, I've learned something very, very recently that I've been implementing for the last 4 months that has completely changed things. It's actually really surprised me as well. Now, I'm a student as well, right? So part of this channel is I go and find things that can help you become more productive on top of the things that I already know, and the ones that work I bring to you. So you don't really need to go anywhere else because all the things that actually work are right here on SPP Productivity TV. But what I want to talk to you is about a thing called block scheduling. Now, when I first looked at block scheduling, I went, this isn't going to work. It's too hard. Just the way life is right now, you just cannot break everything down to exact little sections in the day. It's too much, never works, didn't want to do it, right? But I gave it a crack anyway, and I was super surprised because it wasn't actually what I thought. It's not bringing everything down to the second, it's actually bringing it down to blocks. Now, the funniest part of this, right, is we all actually know how to do this. So what happened is we learned this as kids, and then we actually forgot it as we got to adults. So it's a bit backwards, right? So remember when you were at school, you actually learned how to do block scheduling because all your classes were on a timetable in blocks, right? So it would say between 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock is maths class. Then between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock is science class. Between 11 o'clock and 11:30 is recess, where you go and have some lunch or whatever, right? Now, in maths, did you do anything else apart from maths? Not really, right? And in science, did you do maths? No, not really. Did you think about football? Actually, I probably did, but it's not the point, right? Is that it was just a block of section. Now, your timetable didn't say between 9 and 9:05, teacher, check off class list. Between 9:05 and 9:10, read first 5 pages of textbook. No, it didn't, right? It was just maths. So you could do whatever is the most important thing to do at that time from that block of work. Now, how do we do it as adults, right? We have our calendar and we have the most important things. So like our meetings for the day, for instance, we might have on our calendar. And then we have blocks of time where there's nothing. Yeah, they're the grayed out parts, yeah? Now, what do we normally do in those sections? We finish that meeting, we look at it and go, oh, I've got an hour before I have to do anything else. Most of the time, we'll then sit on our ass and go through Facebook. We will then also, probably just not do the right thing, not the most productive thing to do with our time. Now, I've got another video where I talked about notifications, which I'll also put in the link in the comments below. And what that video talked about is by not getting distracted by all your notifications throughout the day, if you turn them off and just have specific times you can check on them, by doing this means that one of those grayed out sections during the day where you don't have anything specific on, you could put an hour or half an hour to go and check all your notifications, do a bit of browsing of Facebook without feeling guilty, right? So once again, think back to how school was, and that is how block scheduling works, right? So why can't you take a section of time and go, right now, I'm going to do an hour of quoting, or I'm going to do an hour of prospecting. Same as if you're a student, why can't you break up your evening or your weekend and go, I'm going to do an hour of study, and then I'm going to do an hour of recreation, then I'm going to spend the rest of the time with my friends. See what I mean? It's just putting a big block, but then when you're actually in that time frame, then you sit down and go, what is the most important thing I can do about that topic, right? Let's have a bit of a deeper dive. Let's head over to the MacBook and let's have a look how to do that. Okay, guys. So here we are inside a Google Calendar. Now, any calendar will do this nowadays. Absolutely any calendar, especially ones that are digital, makes it really easy. Now, I'm just going to show you a very basic way of doing this block scheduling that we were just talking about, okay? Very simple way. Now, the first thing you're going to do, here's a day And don't forget, adapt this to whether you're school, work, stay-at-home mum, whether you're working, whether you're, an athlete, whatever you are, you'll see the bits that'll actually work for you. Just take it and adapt it to you. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find the time that you're going to wake up. So let's say, that we're going to wake up at 6 a.m. So we'll say wake up. So we're putting in just the most important things here, yeah? So there we go. We're going to wake up. And then what time, ask me later. Now, what time are we going to go to bed? That's also pretty important. So we're going to say we're going to go to bed at 9 o'clock. So go to bed, all right? So we're going to do that. Now, the most important thing here is that you've got the bookmarks, I guess, to work to, and the most important things. So let's say you're going to be traveling to work, which is what I do. So let's say you're going to travel to work. I'm going to make that a bit earlier just to show you the difference here. So let's say you're going to be traveling to work from 7 till 8. So travel. Now the cool thing is you can actually make these a different color. So I'm going to make traveling red, which is what I actually tend to do. So that's travel to work. And then down here, the same thing. Let's say that I finish at 4, travel home, all right? And we'll do the same thing. Now don't look too hard at what I'm doing with the actual Google Calendar, because don't forget every single calendar is going to work similar. It's just showing the blocks, right? So there's wake up, there's that, and then let's say that I've got a meeting at 10 a.m. a meeting, and I'm also going to leave that one in blue. So that's from 10 till 10:30. Right, so they are my bookends. They're the things that I actually have to do throughout the day. Now, let's say that I also know that my daughter goes to bed at 7:30, right? So autumn bedtime, and that is at 7:30. Because don't forget, one of the most important things for me is to make sure that I have time with my family. So that's when she goes to bed. So when I get home from 5 till 7:30, I want that to be her time, right? So if I go 5 o'clock to 7:30 is going to be time with Autumn, and I'm going to give that a color of yellow. Why not? Right? So straight away, something that's really important to me has now got a block of time. And I'm not going to try and not do anything else in that time. Now, when I wake up, right, between 6 and 6:30, I want to do some exercise, right? So this is part of my health. So exercise. Now, don't forget, the best thing about this is you can just put health, right? So you don't need to go to gym, pick up barbell, you can just literally go an hour of exercise, and that could be walking. That might just be sitting and meditating, thinking about but it's a block of time where you're going to think about your health, right? So exercise, I might put that one in yellow too. I'm a visual person, so I like to see things in colors. And then this one here, obviously, is probably just going to be getting ready, but that's not a big bunch of time anyway, right? I'm just giving you some ideas. But then here, so when I get to work from 8 to 9, right? I might say that first half an hour is going to be empty emails, right? Empty emails. I'll give myself half an hour to do that from 8 to 8:30, right? And then from 8:30 to 9:30, this is where it gets important. So now I'm going to say, do you know what? I haven't done any prospecting for a while. So I'm going to say call prospects, and I'll have a list of those. So I'm going to call some prospects. Let's put green for sell. Yeah, got that time. You can still have little chunks of stuff. Now, what else is important to do? You might have a project, or you might have something like down here. Even though you're still at work, you might say go for a stroll. From 1 till to 1:30, or even 1 to 1:15, whatever. Yeah. Just to tell yourself to take a little bit of a break. And then you might go 11 till 12. I might go sales quotes. Yeah. So basically, see what I'm doing? And now there's all these other things that you can do in between, but you've just given yourself some little blocks of time where you're just going to focus on specific things. So now let's just leave that as a simple example here. I might make that green just to make a, I might make this green just to make a point that it's of a similar context there, right? So now you look at it, It's so you basically look at it and you go, I'm going to wake up at that time. I'm going to go to bed at this time. But in between, there's plenty of room for movement. But I know that I have to travel to work between that time. When I get there, before I get distracted, I'm just going to quickly empty my emails. But I know that I'm not that good at getting prospects called. So once a week, I'm just going to put in a block of time. That's an hour. During that time, I'm just going to go through my diary, go through all the business cards that I've collected, and I'm just going to call some of these prospects and say hi. Yeah. Then we've got a meeting we've got to go to. And all these other gaps, you're just going to, at the time, think what's your most important thing to do, just like you normally would. You know, things are going to come up, people are going to disturb you, there's going to be things that, you know, emergencies that you have to get to. And then also, I've got a load of admin work to do. I'm not very good at getting to it, so I've actually given myself a bit of time there called sales quotes. See? So, but then I've also blocked in some time to make sure I look after myself, yeah? And then when I get home, I've also blocked in some time with my daughter. So you can see there's still plenty of time throughout the day still to myself. Now, the next day, I'm not going to do another whole day, but you know, you're not going to do prospects and sales quotes again, you know, but like at 10 a.m. tomorrow, you might say that one might be, let's say you're at school, you know, so that, oh no, let's say you're at home, you know, so that one might be yard work, right? So between, you know, so even though you've got all these other things to do at home, just between 10 and 11, that means you're going to go do yard work. You might not even know what that is yet, but you might just go and brush some stuff up, brush up some leaves, clean up some stuff. But it's just some dedicated time during the week that you can actually get some of that yard work done. So that's basically it, guys. That's what it is. Go have a bit of a play, see what you reckon, but don't overcomplicate it. Just give yourself some blocks. And don't forget, for you guys as well, you know, this is me. That's how I work. Yours might look like this, right? Yours might be 1 till 4:30, you know, study block. And it might be 5 till 8, help around the house. Yeah? So, you know, yours might look like that. Yeah? But you've still got times in between to do things. Me, because I've got so many little moving parts in my sales day, that's why I break it up like this. But look, there's also a million resources out there that you can go and look at. But the basics of it is, all I want you to do is think about when you're in school and think about when it was broken up into subjects. That's all I want you to think of. Remember, it was a subject of maths, a block of science. And that's how it was all broken up. And it was done that way so that you can focus on a specific thing just for that short amount of time and nothing else. Try and do your life that way just for a week and just see what it does. Oh, and also don't do it at the start of the week for, you know, on a Sunday for the whole week. A lot of people will tell you to do that. It doesn't work because everything's going to change. Because what happens if it gets to Friday and you still haven't done any prospecting work, but it's part of your job? So by Thursday, if you haven't done any, you'd probably kick something out of Friday and put prospecting in there, you know? So each night, just do a very quick block of some things you really want to get done and just hits things all at once. Emailing's a good one too. A lot of people go, oh, get back to the emails later, get back to the emails. Give yourself an hour where you just go email, turn your phone off, and in that hour, just smash out a load of emails. Watch how many you get done. But give it a try for me. Send me, if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. I do read them all and I'll get back to you and let you know. But please let me know how that goes for you. But that very simple method worked for me. I reckon it'll work for you as well. So go have a look. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget, hit subscribe if you like these tips and you want to keep getting them. And the notifications will mean you'll get them first. So make sure you hit the notification bell as well. But guys, until next week's episode, hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you have a productive and energetic week, or even an organized and productive week, whichever I normally say. I got it wrong either way. But have a good week. I look forward to seeing you next episode of SPP Productivity TV. I'll see you later.